You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, everybody? Al Mega back in the hosting chair for another Comic Crusaders Podcast. Welcome, one and all. Today, we support indie, right? So today we got an awesome guest. Yes, we have two guests. It's the creative team of an amazing crowdfunding project that you guys will be able to contribute to real soon called Gray Cells. Let me introduce the creative team. First up, Mr. Lawrence Goodman and
Hello.
The man known only as K. What's up, muchachos? How are you guys doing today?
Really good. Thanks for having us on. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys for coming on and willing to talk about you guys' new awesome project, Gray Cells. I definitely want to learn all about this whole new universe that people are going to be able to support via crowdfunding. But before we get into that, I'm all about learning origin stories. So first up, Mr. Goodman, can you tell us where you are from and your particular start in this fandom?
Yeah, so I'm from the UK. I'm out by London, and I have loved comics like for forever, basically. So I didn't really have a lot of access to them growing up. So I was making do with those awful Superman comics where it was like blue and red in the 90s. That was basically the only comics I could get my hands on until I went to visit. Yeah, it was awful. And I kept buying them. And then I went over to visit my aunt in LA, and suddenly there were comic book stores, and this was a thing. And I could read Spider-Man and stuff that were the X-Men and things that were actually interesting. So I came back here with like a ton of stuff, loads of books, and like a new passion. And then it's taken me decades since to actually get the courage up to sort of write something worth reading, and I think we've accomplished that. It's a really good story, and hopefully you guys all like it as well.
Let's see. What about Kay? Where you're about and your origin story and your love of the fandom?
I'm in Michigan. It's a rainy day here, and we have like 4 seasons in Michigan, sometimes in one day.
Oh, damn.
But seriously, like the weather is nice, and people are real, and there are lots of potholes. So it feels like the old country. And I'm originally from Serbia. That's why I have this thick accent. I sound like Russian mobsters in Hollywood movies.
I keep looking to the side because I'm thinking somebody's gonna rush up on me, bro. Let me stop.
The good news is back in Yugoslavia, we were exposed to a variety of comics from all over the world. So not just American comic books and comic strips, but also like Italian fumetti and French BD, Spanish comics, Argentinian comics. So actually, but it always starts with this one issue, right? You always remember that one. And are you a Kirby guy? Are you a Kirby guy?
Of course. Who isn't a Kirby guy? We love Kirby here at Comic Crusaders.
Do you remember Avengers 16?
Okay.
Volume 1, Avengers 16.
Okay.
The old order changed?
Yes.
Okay. So
they always change.
Yeah. Okay. This was the first time. That's why it was so big, such a big deal. So anyway, you open the splash page, and there's a bunch of mortals, puny humans running one way, and this extraordinary group of people looking the other way, facing the danger. And it's like a Viking god, a giant man, a man in an armor suit, and even a flying little woman, Never seen anything like it. It just blew my mind. Like, what is this, And then my friends and my brother, we used to play, like, I want to be Thor, I want to be Giant Man. I want to be Iron Man who used to fight and jump around, Even that little sister that was stuck playing with us that summer break, even she got to be Wasp, And they all wanted to be something, and I knew what I wanted to be, and that was Jack Kirby. I knew that it was not real, But what was real was making my family and my friends feel that way. It was like black magic to me. It was just a few lines. It's not real, but it was like either a black magic or a really good magic trick. Pretty soon I realized I was not gonna be Jack Kirby, although he was like 49 when he created Galactus, right? So there's still hope for me. But I don't. Jack Kirby. I didn't have his panache. Jack Kirby used to fight Nazis, right, and walk around shirtless. Like that's not me. So I was closer to a guy called Alberto Brescia. Did I pronounce that right? That's Spanish.
See, well, yeah, we're there.
Alberto Brescia. He's Argentinian, and you can find his video on YouTube. So the guy goes with a razor like this, like a shaving razor. He goes in there and he draws faces like this. You can see that he's amazing, Now, I'm not as good as him, but I like drawing with razors, and you'll see that in gray cells. Here's the original art. You can see me. I don't draw faces. I don't dare, but I scratch a lot, Okay. All this stuff, and like from him, do you know how you get space? How do you get space in?
Oh wow, that's fire.
Do you know how you get it? You get it with a toothbrush. Look at that.
I hope you don't use that to brush your teeth for real.
After.
So you just go do this, and that's all from Alberto Breccia. And so instead of these larger than life heroes that Kirby drew, I found the truth about this world in all those folds and wrinkles and cracks in Alberto Brescia's. And if you want more American references, I love this guy. Do you know who this is? Come on now, who this is?
Oh my God, you're killing me. I remember the cover.
It's pop quiz time. That's Ernie Colon, a Puerto Rican guy.
Ernie Colon.
Yeah, from Brooklyn. He's originally from Puerto Rico.
See,
and
just like me.
Yeah, that was my shit, man. This is Medusa Chain, and like it's science fiction. It's not body horror, but everybody's got scabs and blisters. It's wonderful. And you'll see a lot of that, because Lawrence made me draw some horrible monsters.
Oh, Lawrence, why did you make him draw these monsters? I mean, is this what Gray Cells is all about? Is it about monsters?
No, it's it's a bit more like how Stephen King. The worst thing in a Stephen King thing is not the creature; it's the people. And so there's some dark people in it, and one of them is he can sort of manipulate how you perceive reality and change what you can see, and as a result of that, Kay got to go a bit wild with letting his imagination run crazy, and some awesome pictures came out of this villain of it, which is called the Frogman. And he's up to no good. He's taking kids out of their beds, and no one believes that he exists because he's portraying himself as this otherworldly creature, and the kids are the only people that have seen him. So when they try and tell adults about it, they're just dismissed as nonsense. And but there's some dark people in it as well who do some not nice things.
I'm looking at the cover now. Now can I get the toothbrush out of my head? Great job, though. That is a gorgeous cover. May I ask? I see this symbolism. Is this symbolism imperative into the story?
Yeah, so that's all okay. We were trying to think of a great way to visualize the people's powers, because it's a psychic power, and that's not something that really lends itself to being a visual thing. You end up with the Charles Xavier grabbing his forehead thing, and we wanted to avoid that and come up with something a bit clever. And then Kay's come up with a brilliant solution, which is It involves these symbols that come in, and there's I'm trying to describe it. And now I can't use words because it's become completely visual. You sort of get flashes of what's in someone's thoughts, and there's all these wild sort of shapes and colors that are coming through. And it's a much more interesting way to show psychic powers than the old concentric circles spinning out of someone's forehead.
The eye actually comes from an actual symbol I saw back in Turkey, which is actually a good omen. It's supposed to like ward off bad luck.
Oh, okay.
So
the evil eye, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a positive, but this is like a positive thing, you know. These are the good guys. Yeah. But it signifies the invisible world, you know, as opposed to like physical. So.
Gotcha. And let's talk about this. You know, what is it about missing kids here? What is this? And who is this? Is he a protagonist, or is this just a random missing kid?
No, so this is Josh Glass. The story opens with him. He's like a young kid who likes to draw. He's alone in his bedroom. His mum's sort of incapacitated, and he drunk out of her mind, basically. And then in comes the Frogman, who wants to take Josh and sort of mold him into what he wants him to be. So he snatches him out of his bed, and then it opens after that with Lena Santos, who is a newspaper journalist on her first big story, who gets assigned this story, and she ends up on the trail trying to find him. But Josh isn't like a sort of just waiting to be rescued. He's trying to get himself out at the same time. So he's a protagonist as much as Lena is, and this is Dante, who's another.
Yeah, but I want to ask something first, though. Could you say that Frogman snatches him from his bed? Please don't tell me that this man like sticks out his tongue like it was going after a fly, and then no. My imagination was very wild too. I'm sorry.
I mean, there is well, not at first. You sort of see snatches of Frogman until later in the story. Okay. And then when he is revealed, it can be quite monstrous. Yeah. So this is the stuff that Kay was saying earlier, where most of these horrible things happen like off camera or in the corner of the eye, because it's such a sensitive topic, which is actually connected to a previous question of missing kids. Mm-hmm. This is how this comic actually came to be. We met online, and Lawrence pitched me his story. It's one of the many scripts I have read recently, but I'm a father, and that night I had a nightmare about the Frogman kidnapping my child. And I was like, I'm a grown-ass man. I haven't had nightmares in like decades. And I'm like, if a comic book script can make me have nightmares, it must be good. So I decided, this is it.
Like, Lawrence, you scared the crap out of me. I'm ready to work with you now. Thank you. Oh, look at this use of coloring here. This is gorgeous, dude. Talk about where were you? What place were you in mentally to come up with this type of drawing representation of the character?
So this is Kay. This is what we were talking about, where we said we wanted to visualize like the psychic stuff. So like where did that come from, Kay?
How to visualize invisible things, So that's where it comes from. Again, we don't want to stick with Xavier doing this all the time. Although shit, now that you said that, I think in issue 6 I just drew that. I'll have to fix that.
Holy shit! That does look terrifying, and it looks like he used Kay's toothbrush too. Look at this guy.
Yeah, so this is I sat down long and hard to try and think of like a villain that would scare me, and I was trying to think back to stuff that's always frightened me, and there's things like not being able to trust your senses and losing control of like your mind and your body was a frightening thing for me. So I pitched to Kay something a little different. So I don't think he was going to turn into a frog originally, but then Kay started bringing in this stuff, and we just sort of lent into it because it added this whole visual element to it where he's really warping reality. Like you can't trust your senses. Poor Josh is sort of trapped with this guy who is like a perverse Kermit the Frog. He's trying to make this like appealing to children, but failing. And
he's not the frogman, right? Not to give too much away, but he's not the frogman. That's just ridiculous. That's like a children's fairy tale, right? He's not really that. And each time you see him, he's a little bit different depending who's watching him. So we play a lot with that to go back to that story of comics as black magic or as illusion.
Okay. I love it. I mean, this looks terrifying. I love how you use with the reflection as well. Great job. And what does his eye mean? I see he has the symbol too.
That is the evil eye. That he's also
okay.
He's also
so there's a couple of psychics in it. So there's him, the frogman. There's a guy called Dante who's sort of helping Lena try and get closer to this world, and then there's some others that come in later. So it's this whole built up, and then some people are using it for like self-interest. Some people are using it to help people, and this guy is using it for bad reasons.
And Kay, I want to confirm: is this one of these art pieces where you use the razor? Because that kind of looks
for sure, exactly. Yeah, that's scratching. You just go in, you lay a lot of thick ink. You wait a couple of minutes to dry, and you just scratch like this. It's very physical.
Gotcha. It looks really cool, and definitely does create a very unique effect. So,
I mean, I still, as you can tell, I still draw traditionally. I should have made the transition like everybody else did, but I miss that physical feeling, of that tactile feeling and that smell and happy accidents. Not just scratching. There's a lot of splattering, and I use like sponge and gauze and any kind of fabric I have. My wife hates me. Like she like, what did you do with the towel? But I needed it. I needed it for this. I needed it for this sky here. If there's sky, I need some kind of fabric, some kind of texture.
Oh wow! Look at that! Holy shit!
Oh yeah, that's Detroit. That's Detroit.
That's fire. My day job is based out of Michigan, so yeah. Maybe I'll visit you if they ever send me over there for some education purposes. I gotta hit up Kay. But just don't bring the razors, because I know us Puerto Ricans are known for carrying those things, and I don't want us to get in trouble. Oh man, here he does look like a Kermie, like right after Miss Piggy's finished with him. That's what he looks like.
So Kay draws all like he's been saying, and with physical media, and when I was looking for an artist to draw this stuff, I saw his work, and I didn't know that was how he did it, but it definitely has that feel of like an authentic, real feel, and that was exactly what I was looking for.
Where did you get though? I mean, you said you found them. Like where though? I mean, that's another origin story of the creation of the creative team, man.
Yeah. So I had a bash at drawing it myself, and I'm not an artist. I can't. I got about 7 pages in.
He's selling.
I was like,
he's good. He's good. He's like Grant Morrison. He can draw. He can better it right.
So I drew a few pages, and then I was like, I can't
British
do this.
Invasion. It's British invasion all over. It's the second wave.
Oh man, definitely.
So I went on to a Reddit forum, which is called Comic Book Collabs, and people post their art there. Kay was just finished. You just finished a project, or you were just about to finish?
Yes. I just wrapped up a previous one with another small publisher, and I was looking for a new project, some big commitment, and this was
the first person I messaged. Like I picked, like I saw his work, and I was looking for someone who could draw like a realistic city, someone who could draw kids because there's kids in it, someone who could draw cars.
Kids are hard, man. Kids are hard. Yeah, cities, cities are already there, especially Detroit. It's like wonderful. Everybody focuses on all the problems in Detroit, like urban decay and stuff, but it's a wonderful city. It's very European. I love it. There's this Institute of Arts, and there's a lot of revival going on downtown, and you'll see a lot of these houses. This is authentic, So if we need a psychic with a base of operations, what better than to place it in Detroit?
Wow.
And that was I never knew that either. So I've messaged, I sent you the pitch. We had like a quick call where we went through, and you just said everything that I wanted you to say, which is crazy. Like you were saying, oh, is it all right if I've got in my mind that it should be like based on like Detroit? And I was like, I pretty much wrote it based on Detroit. You were like, oh, I think, it's important to make it look good in black and white first. And I was like, I want it to look good in black and white first. And it was just like, it was like one mind straight from the bit. And then Kay's ended up.
Wait, the book has psychic powers, and you guys have a psychic connection. Apparently, look at this. It was meant to be, guys.
Yeah. I'm Kay ended up sort of rewriting stuff.
For the record, I'm happily married.
As a wife, brother. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, Kay was perfect. Like from the off. Fell in love with his art, messaged him. We were speaking that we were already on the same page, and the result is amazing. Like
I think we grew up. Maybe we grew up with the same comics, because in my country they were just built. They were printed on like a cheap newspaper print and black and white. Even American comics, no color. So instead of like missing you cannot miss what's never there, and then instead you appreciate the line work.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like so nowadays they're printing these artist editions, and I'm like, I grew up with that. Every comic was an artist edition, So we're on the same page from the beginning.
You're so true. I am from that generation myself that loved the black and white. My early comics were, the Savage Swords that were black and white.
All the Warren magazines.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, the 70s. Yeah, you don't look that old though.
No, thank you, man. And I don't even dye my stuff, so yeah, So this is the one that gives me nightmares. This looks creepy as hell. Like, what is coming out of the darkness here? This ain't no frog, boy.
That's it. Yeah, that's just it. He's different, and it Go ahead.
Oh, go on. No, I was going to say, yeah. This you can see him be nice when he's being nice, and then when he's angry, you see stuff like this come out, and at this point,
also when it comes to language of comics, it's important to say that this panel is like the cliffhanger at the end of the page, at the end of the right page. So once you flip it, you might expect like something horrible to happen to an abducted child, right? But we just cut, and you can just tell from his appearance that something horrible is going to happen. We don't show it.
Yeah, okay. I like that. You got to kind of leave the reader to also use their imagination. So thank you for doing that. I love that.
Putting the blood in the gutter. Right?
Yeah. Oh, and who is this? Who's this? This is the reporter you mentioned?
Yeah, this is Lena. So she's on her first big story. She's been doing sort of fluff pieces going into it that she hasn't really enjoyed, and her art's not in it, but she's a good writer, and her boss sort of sees something in her and offers her a chance to write something that might interest her, and she ends up with the story of her career, but she can't tell it because no one will believe it.
Crazy. I want to ask you, whose idea was to do the fishnets?
Oh man, you had to go there.
I have to. One of my guys, he's from the UK. His name is Johnny, the Machine, right? And he loves fishnets. I wanted to see if there was a UK connection to fishnets.
No, this is Kay. I wanted her to have trousers.
That's all him.
I hope, you know what? I hope people don't find her too sexy. Not just because you're not meant to objectify her, but also because I based her mostly on my own photo references.
Okay.
So that's basically me. I do not own fishnets. I did not invest in fishnets, but that like when you draw realistic, you have to take like photo references. So that's basically me like walking around with a book, talking on the phone. So I don't know.
And now I want to see Kay wearing the fishnets. What's going on here?
Yeah, we can have like a private.
You know what? That could be one of the tiers. All right. Hey, if we make X amount of
the rewards.
Yeah, and let's talk about that campaign. That's what's important here. This awesome campaign you guys have. Guys, you've already seen the beautiful art, right? So when is that campaign going? Is it live now? What's up?
So you can get issue 1 now for free if you there's a link on that. Oh, there you go. There's the link right there. But also, if you go to the Facebook, you can see it there. And what we'll do is we'll send you over issue 1. You get the first 23 pages, which sort of introduces you to the characters. It's a good sort of self-contained story in itself. The whole thing is going to be more about 130 pages, and it's got a beginning and middle and end. So you're not going to be left hungry. It's going to feed you. It's a complete story.
Oh, it's a full course meal, huh? Excellent.
Yeah, full course meal. Yeah, and it's So we're going to be starting up really soon. I'm just hanging on for the last few pages from Kay to come in, because we want it to be finished so that we'll run the campaign. You'll get the stuff into your hands afterwards. You're not going to be waiting months for this stuff. It's going to be
years.
Or years. Like you were telling me the other day with you're still waiting for
brigade. Where's my effing brigade anyway?
No, that's what we don't want. Absolutely. So we want to give you something that's it's going to be a unique version of the book as well. So you're not going to be able to buy this in the shops after. It's going to be if you support us on the campaign, you're going to get a limited run of this that's not going to be seen elsewhere. There's fantastic. So we talked a lot about black and white, but there's fantastic colors in it as well from our colorist Corey Ranson, who's done an awesome job.
The letterer
and the letterer, Nikki Powers. She's fantastic. She's a writer as well, so she did a lot of editing of this with us. So because I'm trying to write American, she helped a lot with that.
How did you? I'm trying to write American. Wow, we really talk that much different English. No, anyway, that sounds so. I'm writing American. All right. How did you get the rest of your team though? Then
all read it. So
Reddit. Damn, Reddit is a great resource. Then, huh?
Yeah.
So can we discuss like special like rewards? Like I could draw. I'm wrapping up the final issue right now, but I could maybe draw one of those backers, like as a character, maybe full of scabs and blisters, of course.
Yeah, if you want to look, if you want K, Mr. Man known only as K, to fool you with scabs, you got to pitch in. So what's the goal here? What's the initial goal for the crowdfunding? Monetarily, in order for you to put the book in production?
I need to sit down with a calculator and work out sort of the postage of packaging and stuff like that, but basically it's just what's going to cover like the production costs of it. So what we can do to get the book to you, and we're not worried about sort of making it ridiculous. We just want it to be something that can mean we can produce this book and then hopefully follow it up and have something feed off the back. We've sort of pinged a couple of emails back and forth about sort of what we want to do next and follow it. And I've got some stuff stewing in here. But yeah, get this one through the door and get you guys on board. Go to the website and the link. You get issue 1 completely free. See if you like it.
23 pages, people. 23 pages of free comic. Come on.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good story.
I mean, it
do
looks
say so myself.
crazy. It looks weird. It looks like something that's right up my alley. Because again, this is the type of stuff we need in comics. We need real escapism. We need, and I love the fact that you guys, really do want to leave things to our imagination. So you don't need to show all the blood and guts. Just leave us. I love how you guys said that. It makes me want to definitely pitch in and read the book. And the way you guys seem to work together, I want to see Gray Cells 2 or in 3 and 4. What's popping? Come on. That means hey, you're gonna have to buy like a pallet full of razors, all right?
I'll send him a load of toothbrushes, yeah.
And some toothbrushes. Please don't use those though, okay? Just use it for the art. Okay, this is awesome, Lawrence. You guys are great, man. The project is coming out, soon. But again, if you visit Facebook, sign up there. I'm sure they'll provide updates about the project. But most importantly, sign up here. That's pre-launch on this website right here. And by signing up for the pre-launch, you're going to get a free comic book that's going to start, explaining to you, if you will, the universe of Gray Cells over here. The Lawrence K universe. All right?
Netflix, are you listening?
Yeah. Is that something that was really be up your alley to get this syndicated? Yeah. And if so, what would you like it to be? A live action or animated? Go ahead, Kay. I'll let you, since you're screaming Netflix. What would you like to see it as?
Oh no, this is definitely HBO. Something like I don't know, True Detective.
Oh, okay.
A nice live action. You said that, I was like, it's like True Detective if the Yellow King was really psychic or really had powers. That's a really good way to describe
write it down. Yeah. That's a good pitch. Write it down.
It is. Write it down. Yeah. Just do rewind. Do rewind, because that is a great way to do it. That is a great way. What if the Yellow King had? Yeah. Oh man, I love it.
That's pretty spot on. Yeah. That's basically
So folks, perfect. You're fans of True Detective, then that means you're going to tear this book up. You're going to love it. You're going to eat it and want a whole bunch more. All right. So Lawrence, thank you. Kay, thank you. Again, it's all about signing up, being aware, folks. Facebook, Gray Cells Comic. The website, inked-dreams.com, Gray-cells. All right. That's Gray with an A, folks. GRAY-cells. Support, love, get their free comic book. Share your thoughts with us, on Comic Crusaders, on our socials when you get the free comic book. Absolutely. You got to tag on Facebook and let them know that you love the preview and that you guys can't wait for more. I mean, that's a 23-page preview, folks. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Right? And then we're going to push for hopefully a live action or an animated. Lawrence is all on Kay's team there. Live action True Detective.
It's episodic. Like it's not one of those sort of things where I got to 23 pages and cut it off, and then got to another 23 pages and cut it off. They're literally written as episodic. So there's six episodes of what would be season one of an HBO or a Netflix.
But it's not decompressed. It's not decompressed. It's like the old school comics. There's a lot of bang for a buck.
Thank you guys for even thinking about that as well, because that's part of old school that the new school doesn't really understand where we come from. It's us. We were getting value for our money. Nowadays, you could pick up a comic book and read it in 10 minutes, and even faster. Back in the day, it felt like you were reading for 30 minutes. There was so much verbiage, but story. And this is why I guess we're so much more adamant as fans about those properties, more so than the kids nowadays, because they're getting the short, quick visual, movie, appetite. Yeah. Oh yeah, quick story, all contained into one film. Here, we give you 50 years of comics in one movie. You can't do that.
They're getting a TikTok, and we've made a movie.
There we go. There you go. A real comic book movie. Folks, please support the project. It's called Gray Cells by my man, Lawrence Goodman, and the man only known as K. All right? So show the love, show the support. Appreciate you guys tuning in. You know what to do. Everything is in the outro. Lawrence, K, you guys have a blessed day. And we need an update in 2 weeks, in a couple of weeks. Once the campaign goes live, I want you to come back mid-campaign so we could do a nice, mid-campaign update, talk about what tiers you guys did set up. Are we going to get Kay in fishnets? Are we going to get some awesome art later on? More extras? Are we going to get people drawn into the comic? We'll find out mid-campaign. All right, folks, tune in again then. Mm-hmm.
We promise now there will be fishnets. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hey, Johnny, you heard that? Just kidding, my friend. Everybody, you know what to do. Much love. Hasta la próxima.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.